Great. So, filmmaker par excellence, whose films are always awaited, but saying that his next film is the most awaited won't be an overstatement. So, Ayan, welcome to Radio 4. I am Ronak Kotecha, and I want to begin by asking you, how did this idea of Brahmastra trilogy come about? This long, exciting, yet I believe would be an arduous journey. How did it begin?
A gift from the universe, gift from Lord Shiva. One day I was walking in the mountains and it was given to me. Okay, go and make this film. Nine.
So,
Actually, I was a big lover of the genre of fantasy fiction my whole life.
okay.
ये genre, मतलब, I was very, very attracted to this genre. Um, uh, I was the youngest person I knew who had read the Lord of the Rings books. फिर मैं ये सब फिल्में देखता था वेस्ट की, where they were taking these stories and making these absolutely epic movies out of it, right?
Right.
So when you start off working in the industry, little bit, you were still working in the footsteps of the people who've come before you. Those were my first two films. A moment comes where you get the confidence ki yaar, maybe I can go beyond this. And when the idea came to me to make something in this fantasy superhero, these were the words though, that were floating around genre. Suddenly it was like I realized how much inspiration there was in me for this genre. But the more important thing to say is what I realized is that being someone who had grown up in India, where I was naturally going in my life, my thinking, I felt that nothing had really come that was drawing on ancient India and sort of like Indian spirituality and using it in this kind of genre. And we had something very powerful over here that one could draw from. That combination of East and West, you know, when the story first arrived, those shades were already there in it. That
Right.
is the inspiration and the beginning of Brahmastra.
You said this new genre, this new genre. So what would you describe it as? Extraverse? What are you calling it?
I'm calling it a fantasy adventure movie slash fantasy adventure universe, which is
Okay.
deeply inspired by ancient Indian culture.
So there's realism also. It's not all fantasy. Like it's
It's
rooted in realism.
yes, the film is the first part of Brahmastra takes place in the modern world.
Oh yeah.
So the characters are modern characters living today who relate with each other and the world like how any of my characters would have. It's just that they discover a world of energies, powers, magic from ancient India and they get sucked into an adventure.
Right. Okay. Exciting as it sounds, obviously, but 7 years and counting is what I've read. So how did you keep the momentum going for yourself and your crew?
Yeah, listen, it was very hard, Ronak, honestly. Brahmastra is, not been a very like easy journey. It's been a difficult journey uh, throughout. So I'm not going to make it sound like it was nothing. For a long time, we were climbing the mountain without being able to see the peak of the mountain.
You,
But
as in your actors included?
me, like my actors, my core team, the key people that surround yourself with when you're making a film. There were a lot of people along the way who also dropped off the journey because it was a very hard journey. And
Right.
it wasn't, people are used to signing up for a film and they want to turn around in 1 year, 2 years, but this was not that kind of journey, right? Um, but the inspiration and passion for what we could create and what we were creating was also very high, you
Right.
know.
Everybody
So
shared
that
that.
has always been there. There was this faith कि यार हाँ बहुत time लग रहा है लेकिन कि Asif took time to make Mughal Azam, James Cameron took a long time to make Avatar. हम लोग भी कुछ कमाल का बनाएंगे इसके साथ.
Okay, but what is a major challenge in making a trilogy? Nobody has ever made one in Bollywood, as I can remember. But you're the first one. You are so young, also doing this. So people change, their faces change, their appearances change. What is that one challenge that you faced, major?
So, to be honest, Ronak, the trilogy is not yet made. We've made part one of the three films.
Oh,
So
okay.
ये सफर अभी और आगे बढ़ना है. ये तो
So,
अभी 6 साल all. It's
so
about,
what
let's
are
say,
you?
another 5 years to finish this journey.
But what are you anticipating in the last 7 years? I'm sure you have a fair idea.
Well, I'm anticipating the process to get faster now that the first bunch is done, because we've learned and set the foundation for this film, in terms of visual effects, action. So I'm expecting the journey to get faster. The honest answer is, Ronak, Brahmastra was a leap of faith. The vision was beautiful on paper, but वो क्या लगेगा exactly to make it, वो पता नहीं था. शायद पता होता तो हम लोग डर के वापस यू टर्न ले लेते.
But sorry, yeah, but it sounds only so elaborate that I'm like surprised that you were not even like you didn't think the scale of it's going to be so difficult and so challenging.
Well, but I guess like, what is that to say? Once in a while, like you feel, you get an opportunity to do something amazing. It's going to be super hard, but I had the energy and the passion to ride out those difficulties for what it is that I wanted to achieve. And I feel like, I have an opportunity to do something really landmark for India and
Right.
like Indians everywhere. And that opportunity is also a great privilege. Usme bhi ek energy hai.
Absolutely.
Not every project that you get an opportunity to make or an idea that comes to you comes with that kind of momentum and
Correct.
that kind of, I also feel that, while Brahmastra has been made, people are also curious and excited कि ये क्या बन रही है film.
Exactly. And what?
So that's a good feeling as well, and it gives you energy.
And I mean, really, what comes of it is another thing. But obviously, like you're saying, it's really exciting. But were you able to cast everyone that you had in mind?
Yes.
किसी ने कोई hard time नहीं दिया आपको?
नहीं. No, the honest answer is genuinely that the cast has been incredible. लेकिन इस सफर में the main story na, Ronak, is about this concept that we wanted to make, and the way and the kind of filmmaking quality that we wanted to reach. So the cast came in very beautiful to support what we were trying to do, because they also realized that, boss, this is something else, next level that we are trying to do. We have to all jointly work to kind of support it. I got lucky, with a cast that understood that.
But you only worked with Ranbir Kapoor so much. He's your childhood buddy.
He's not my childhood buddy, actually. I met him on Wake Up Sit. So
Really?
I never knew Ranbir before Wake Up Sit.
But you are great friends.
We became very good friends as we started working with each other.
Then I can't ask you that next question where I was going to ask you that. What is the one thing that you realized about him when you started making films with him?
No, so the thing is, the truth is, like, while me and Ranbir have become best friends off screen, I mean, away from working in films, the root of our friendship was formed while working.
Right.
And I guess we are both very passionate about movies. We are passionate about our work. So that is a very important aspect of our life together. And to be honest, it would be unfair to say कि अगर वो नहीं हो, तो our friendship is formed around that working relationship.
Okay. But since you are so young yourself and you are dealing with
how young do you think?
Cross section of stars over here. You are younger than me for sure.
How young are you?
I'm 40 and you're 38.
I'm also 40.
You're 38. You're 83.
I'm 38. Fine. Okay. Fair enough. Fine.
Yeah,
okay.
So I'm saying, you are directing a cross section of stars. You are young stars, as like there's Alia Bhatt, there's Moni, and then there are like veterans like Amitabh and Dimple Kapadia. So do you have different approaches for both of the kinds of stars?
Yeah, I can bully Ranbir and Alia more than I can bully Mr. Bachchan.
You can bully him a little, you are saying.
No. Mr. Bachchan को कोई bully नहीं कर सकता. The thing is, well, to be honest, I want to tell you that I've noticed that the greatest actors and the greatest technicians and the people you start realizing, somewhere, people who come connected with that real vibe of wanting to do great work, they tend to be very similar at a certain attitude about their work. So I did not feel the way you might think. First, I might feel that I was intimidated by Mr. Bachchan and all, but he comes so passionate to want to also create a good film, do good work, that after you find your flow, then you're not thinking differently of directing Ranveer or directing Mr. Bachchan. You know, it is like it becomes about the work.
So when Ayan is not making movies, what is he doing? What kind of a person are you?
Lazy, you know, all this drive that it's taken to make Brahmastra, it's the opposite. I'm lazy. I am very anxious. I am obsessed with like movie watching and reading. That's my like idea of a holiday.
High five to that.
High five, right? And uh, I think like a little bit of traveling would be an aspect of it. But to be honest, it's been so many years making Brahmastra that there's been very less space to have a personal life. I think I'm going to discover my personal life again after Brahmastra releases.
I think whatever you want to do in your personal life, you have to do with Brahmastra. Traveling, eating out, making friends, socializing, all of
Oh
that.
yeah, वैसा ही है.
Finally, my last question is: have you thought about life after Brahmastra? What will
Brahmastra
happen?
2, then Brahmastra 3, then I'll retire. Then bas
But
ho gaya. Then I'll go to the mountains. I'll be totally crazy by then. I'll retire in the mountains, go to a monastery, and live out my life.
all right, I guess that seemed like an exciting thought after making such an exciting film. So all the best to you.
Thank you
I
so
had
much.
more questions, but we're running out of time, I'm told.
Okay.
So I would love to connect again. Oh yeah, just one last question I forgot to ask you. What is the significance of 99? I couldn't find it.
It's just because of the date, because 9 is thing. थोड़ा हो गया है कुछ की, you know. We found some magic between the numbers of 3, 6, and 9. I'm not a strong believer in numerology, uh, uh, but it became a little bit of a fun thing with the team, and our date is 0909 2022. Uh,
Right.
Brahmastra is a trilogy. In our film, the Brahmastra is broken into three pieces. The holy three of Hinduism is Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh.
Right.
So three became a very special number, like gradually with us. And bus, that's it. There's nothing to read into too much.
All right. With that thought, thank you so much for talking to us. And once again, congratulations and all
Thank
the
you, Rana.
best.